more sun shines back. We're cooler in the upper 60s by Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
What if we've got it backwards? Stop letting frustration hold your child back. The book Extinguishing Einstein reveals why traditional methods fail and what really works for ADHD. Claim your free copy today at RoyerNeuroscience.com and empower your child to thrive.
Don't miss the boat. Don't miss the boat, baby. Shop LK and Local for the best lake apparel, home decor, and gift ideas. Locally loved, made, and delivered right to your door. For the love of the lake, shop lkn-local.com today.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Ladies and gentlemen, the journey for focus, clarity, and mental mastery is about to begin. Live from WSIC Studios on the shores of Lake Norman, the show that gives you the tools to think sharper, sleep deeper, manage stress, and unlock your full mental potential. This is Your Brain Matters. And now, with over 30 years of brain science, more than 70,000 brain analyses, bringing neuroscience to everyday life, here's your host, Dr. Tim Royer.
Man, let's go. It's our first episode. How about that intro they put together?
What in the heck? How do you follow that?
I love it. Go Bill, man. He's killing it.
It's awesome.
I am Dr. Tim Royer. They refer to me as Doc, and I'm here with
Amy Royer.
Nurse Amy.
Oh, Nurse Amy.
Yes, Nurse Amy, right?
Yep.
Yes. We are so excited to have you join us for Your Brain Matters, where neuroscience meets everyday life. And it is just a great honor to be in your space right now as you listen to us share our stories. Let us share our experience, our education, our work with clinical people over the years with you. We've been doing this for over 32 years, 70,000 brains. We recently moved to the area and said, let's get to the radio station, and here we are today.
Yeah. What's not to like about the area?
Yeah, we love it.
It's awesome. We're glad to be part of it. And if we can get a few people to understand that your brain matters, we're going places.
Yes, absolutely. Amy and I came from Michigan, where we lived for 26 years, raised the 4 kids, which you'll find all about them and their spouses and kids, as we go through this each Thursday at 4 o'clock live on Your Brain Matters. Also, you can go to yourbrainmatters.today, and if you would like us to look at your brain, do a brain scan, look at what your heart's doing, look at what your breathing's doing, look at what you're going to learn about this, your autonomic nervous system is doing, we would love for you to come to our brand new office in Birkdale, yourbrainmatters.today, and you can schedule an assessment through there. And during our grand opening, the next 2 months, we're offering 50% off a full brain assessment, yourbrainmatters.today.
That's better than Black Friday.
I think it is.
That's
Don't you think?
incredible. Yeah.
So normally it's $500 to do all this, meet with us, go through all the data. It's $250 during the grand opening. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal. And it's not even scary.
No, it's not scary.
It's not painful. It's actually one of the coolest things I've ever done. So
yeah, I know you feel the same way, Aim, is that even though we've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of brains, every time you see the brain come back up on the computer, because everybody's different. You know, you might have a diagnosis, you might be in a certain box someplace that somebody said this is what you are, but there has never, ever been a brain like your brain. And even on your worst day, it is the absolutely most incredible thing in the universe. And until you see it on the computer, you don't realize how amazing and wonderful this thing is and how we can leverage its greatest potential, which is to learn.
Yeah. It's something that you shouldn't be scared of.
No.
The assessment. It doesn't take very long, like a half an hour for one of us, like myself, to collect the data. And it's painless. but it is amazing metrics, biometrics, and there is no one else better than Dr. Royer to take those biometric pieces of data and explain them to you in a way that you would understand your own brain better.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. No, I mean that, and I've
I actually
seen that.
agree with that because we've been doing this a long time. And we take that data and then we unpack it for about 45 minutes with you and just show you why are you having these downstream behaviors, emotions, can't sleep, attention issues. Why are you even taking this medicine if we haven't looked upstream at the electrical current in the brain and what's going on? One other thing as we kind of do our neuro notes and news at the beginning here is we have an upcoming lecture.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So Reclaim Your Brain lecture. We've done a few of those in the area lately. And we have one coming up on December 16th at Verdict Ridge Country Club. December 16th at Verdict Ridge Country Club. 7 o'clock. It's hour and a half, free lecture. Everybody that comes gets a free Einstein book.
Yep.
What would you say what do you think they'll learn at the lecture, Aim? What do you think it's?
Well, I definitely recommend the lecture, and you guys are just going to think I'm just pouring sauce on Doc, but he's a very, very good lecturer. So you would expect to be for an hour. I think your attention would be held well by his presentation, but you're going to be smarter. In 1 hour, you're going to be smarter. And typically what I like to think is that when you walk away, you're going to have a few nuggets that actually you put those back into play in your day because, golly, you don't do anything without your brain.
Right.
So as you're going through your day, it's kind of amazing to actually understand what your brain is doing behind the scenes, or as you say, upstream. I think we really undervalue the brain. We only think that neurologists know what's going on in the brain, but the way Doc will unpack it is we can know things about the brain and we can understand our own brain without being a neurologist. And in fact, we can teach elementary school kids about their own brain so that they can actually know that my brain matters. And that would be Doc, and my probably goal in life is to help as many people as possible understand your brain matters. Because if you can get that through your thick head, my thick head as well, it impacts everything around you. So like when I see a young student get that idea, where's that going to go for the rest of their life if they understand that? How does that impact decisions, and how does that affect performance, and yada, yada, yada? I mean, it's big. And even like we have plenty of elderly people that we work with, and it's like they usually tell us, I thought I was just, this is it. This is the way it's going to be for the rest of time. And they're seeing like my brain matters, and they're learning how to take care of their aging brain.
And making it stronger.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what we're about. First, understanding the brain, and then 2, making it stronger. The brain's greatest ability is to learn. And we have technology, super high-end technology, that you can see your brain and your brain can learn. So go to yourbrainmatters.today. Let's get that thing assessed, and then sign up for this Reclaim Your Brain lecture on December 12th at 7. Is that December 16th? At 7.
Have your say.
Trusting the government to fix anything is a joke.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't even trust the banks with our money.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Well, plenty of warmth around the Lake Norman area, but also plenty of clouds as they continue to roll in as we head through our Thursday. For our Friday, still plenty of warmth, high temperatures in the low to mid 70s, but the chance of a shower really at any point as we go through the day, and that chance will continue into Saturday. Don't expect much rain, just a brief isolated shower. Then more sun shines back, we're cooler in the upper 60s by Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 13th through 23rd at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Buy tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Join the Hickory Christmas Show to kick off the holiday season in style. Start a new family tradition with a visit to the show on December 5th through the 7th at the Hickory Metro Convention Center. Visit hickorychristmasshow.com for more information. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway begins on Friday and runs through January 4th. The drive-through holiday light show features more than 5 million lights circling the iconic oval, pit road, and infield road course. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets and information on Speedway Christmas. The Fall Frenzy 5K is happening on Saturday at ESC Park in Troutman. This run and walk benefits the Iredell County Crosby Scholars to support college and career access for Iredell students. Runners, walkers, and well-behaved pets are invited. There will be a DJ, food trucks, face painting, games, post-race snacks, and awards. Visit crosbyscholars.org to register and for more information. Ray Abraham's 13th annual Americana Live Car Show is Saturday. The show is open to all cars and held at Train Technologies in Davidson. 100% of the proceeds will be donated to the Ignite Community Center to benefit young adults with high-functioning autism or Asperger's syndrome. Visit AmericanaLive.com for more information.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 23rd. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
We're back with more of what your brain's been craving: balance, calm, and better thinking. Your Brain Matters with Dr. Tim Royer. WSIC Local starts here.
Dr. Royer here, and we are so glad to get back to this segment, which we call Inside Your Mind. And we're going to go inside the mind of Amy Royer, my better half. Yes. We're coming up on 37 years of marriage.
Yeah.
We both got married when we were 10. No. Can you believe that? 37 years.
Yeah, I do believe it.
You do believe it?
I do believe it. We were children.
No, it's amazing. But what we've been able to do together as a team is just the thousands of lives we've been able to impact. And you are such a big part of this, Aim. Can you kind of share with the audience your journey of, you're a nurse, your background is there. How did you kind of gravitate to, apart from just me being in this area, into the neuroscience side of things?
Yeah, good question. So we met in college. I was in nursing school, and I always wanted to be a nurse since I was little. So
Okay.
that was, a real easy choice, and went straight into a career and worked full time in Atlanta while Doc was going through his education. So I had a wonderful career at a children's hospital. Absolutely loved it. Right at the point in time when Doc was finishing up his education, we had our first child. And so I finished there and we moved to Michigan. At that point, we were going to have our second child, and I decided to stay home, and we chose for me to be a stay-at-home mom for really the next, probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not, maybe 10. But anyway, when the kids were all in elementary school, I was interested in going back to work. And at that point in time, Doc was starting to take off with this private practice doing this biofeedback and neurofeedback. And it was so natural for me to join him in that process, because during those years off, I was immersed in child raising and seeing all these little brains in
Yeah.
front of me
Mhm.
and working with you to figure out how to parent and just learning so much about growth and development. At the same time, I was giving you a lot of information about the human body and
Mhm.
how breathing and wellness and health were all connected to what you were doing with the brain. So it was very synergistic for me to join you at that point in time. It wasn't as pretty as that sounds. It was more like he needed help at the office.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Can you
I
put
was,
leads on people's
yeah,
heads for me,
I was
please? Yeah.
filling in, but as I was filling in, I was getting more passionate about what he was
Right.
doing, and I was learning more and I was understanding more. And so then we grew into the partnership. So
Right.
that was kind of slowly but surely. I'd say we were more partners by the time the kids were in high school
Right.
and when I could work more and be a better contributor as a partner. But all along the way, it was just like two streams that were converging into one.
Right.
It wasn't like a battle to put the two things together. It was happening very naturally.
Yeah, I can remember you are always reading and learning
Yeah.
and listening, and I'm not always doing that. I'm kind of moving, right? And you'd be dropping these things in front of me and say, you need to read this book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers by Dr. Sapolsky.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't got time to read that book, right? And you remember this in the early 2000s?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to. Our whole company is basically formed off the principles from Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. And
Yeah.
what I learned about the autonomic nervous system and then the interfacing that with neuropsychology, that was you kind of setting the base. And, all the technology we've developed with heart rate variability sensors and breathing sensors and brain sensors and measuring sleep studies and all that stuff really was merging these two worlds of what you knew in medicine and what I was studying on the brain. It was really quite fascinating. So for the listeners out there, what's it like to work with your husband? How would you describe the dynamic at times, especially as you're trying to initially start a small business? Well, now it's a pretty big business, but what's that been like?
So the dynamic of working with Doc is it's a combination of absolute chaos, but with passion,
Yeah.
and purpose. So I'm more of an organized, purposeful person, and so it's the chaos that I say is it's organized chaos.
Yeah.
But Doc, he's like a fire hose of ideas and energy. And I'm more like a regulator on that fire hose.
Yeah, you are.
So there are moments that are tougher than other moments. But for the most part, like at the end of the day, working together happens because we share some of the deepest, most common roots of want to help people. We believe in science. We see the body and the brain's ability to learn. Some of those just deepest things, and then belief system.
Yeah, our faith.
Our
definitely
faith, our beliefs to help people to do the best with what we've been given. That stuff is just very, very synergistic. So then that kind of helps in the moments where it's choppy.
Yeah. So in the space of our current culture, medicine, that kind of stuff, I mean, what do you see that Royer Neuroscience, what do we provide in this space that others aren't providing? Oh, wait a minute. We don't have 4 hours.
No, we
I'm
don't. Sorry. Go move on. No. What do I see is I see hope.
Yes.
And our very first company was called Hope 139 because we were working in the school systems with kids that had attention issues. And it was very not hopeful for those students. It was very much like, okay, you need to take medicine and sorry, that's all we have for you. And when we were integrating into that system, we had a couple really amazing school administrators that allowed us to come into their schools, work with kids, And when we saw what could happen in that situation where students were doing our training during their school day and experiencing change, and their parents were like getting them back from school in the evening and seeing change, and teachers were seeing change, that's not what's normal. That's not what's normally going on. So in that moment, I knew we were doing something really, really important and valuable. Meanwhile, we had 4 little kids. So my world was children and school and academics and anything to help a kid have a good, successful school experience, because that sets them up for the next level and the next level. That was huge.
Yeah.
And coming from a nursing background, I understood that the conventional treatment for the ADHD that we were working with was a medication, and I knew of the side effects because I knew about the human body and I knew about growth and development, and that I know from my experience as a mom, but also as a nurse, that cannot be the best thing for this growing and developing child.
Yes, or
So-
that brain, definitely. Specifically that brain. right.
Exactly.
And the hope that we've been able to bring over the years for thousands in getting them off their meds, getting them paying attention better than when they were on their meds, less anxiety, sleep, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, and while we have a couple minutes left on this section, the question that I think is going to become our mantra, try to become our mantra for everybody that comes on. So let's start with you, since you own this company. Why does your brain matter? Why does your brain matter?
Okay. That's a very good question. I think, like, I know my brain matters because of everything we do and my knowledge and understanding. I know that. But before all of that, like if I go back before all of this, my brain matters because of who I'm called to be.
Yes.
So it matters for me, but my brain matters for you
Yes.
because you're my partner in life. So if I don't take care of my brain, it's going to impact you. Then my brain matters for our 4 kids who are now married, and then we have 4 in-law kids. So my brain matters for those 8 people. And my brain matters for my father, who I help take care of. So those are just my first thought is when I wake up in the morning, my brain matters because those people need my brain to be at its best, because that's my sphere of influence. Then I have work, and I have clients that I work with. And if I'm not taking care of my brain, how am I helping them take care of their brain? And my dog needs me
well, Cooper, definitely
to take care of my brain
definitely.
because
That's
I need to take care of him. And so I just feel like my brain matters, period.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning of the day, like I wake up, my eyes open, and I know that I have a lot to do, but I see everything that I'm going to do that day through the lens of my brain matters. So I get up and I like choose what I'm going to eat. I choose, you know, how I organize my day. I make choices that come from the belief that my brain matters.
Yeah, like you do your brain training. You do your breathing. Even though you've been doing this for years, you're doing that because you know you have to show up. We need you to show up. The world needs you to show up, and your brain matters.
Yeah, even to the point, and this might sound weird, but when my brain does something good, like recently I remembered this number straight out of the sky. I remembered this account number, and I literally was like, thank you, brain. Thank you so
awesome.
much.
That's awesome. Great. That was fun. Good job, Aim. That was great.
"76 years strong, and we're still the one." WSIC. News. Talk. Now.
Well, plenty of warmth around the Lake Norman area, but also plenty of clouds as they continue to roll in as we head through our Thursday. For our Friday, still plenty of warmth, high temperatures in the low to mid 70s, but the chance of a shower really at any point as we go through the day, and that chance will continue into Saturday. Don't expect much rain, just a brief isolated shower. Then more sunshine's back, we're cooler in the upper 60s by Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
The change of seasons is tough on your system. Dust, wear, and cold snaps test its strength. Let Horn Heating and Air Conditioning prep your home before the holidays, so your heat will be ready when you need it most. Fall into the season of ah. Visit HornHVAC.com, where your comfort is our business.
Harrison's is the home of Work Western, and wow! For nearly 30 years, our family has been boots on the ground when it comes to work. We have the largest selection of in-stock boots in the Carolinas and the best workwear brands like Harriet, Carhartt, and Wrangler. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
If you need home medical equipment, call Lowry Drug in Statesville. We have everything you need in stock, including portable oxygen concentrators, CPAPs, masks, lift chairs, wheelchairs, scooters, hospital beds, supplies, and anything else you need. Get it when you need it. Check out LowryDrug.com or call 704-873-2247. Lowry Drug, your hometown source since 1959, across from Iredell Memorial Hospital. We are worth the drive. Come see us.
Are you sick of running out of hot water? Whether it's in the middle of a shower or doing dishes, cold water's never fun. Say goodbye to those surprises with a Rinnai tankless water heater from GMV Energy. This energy-efficient propane-powered solution heats water instantly, so you'll never run out again. Plus, it saves money and frees up space. Propane models start at just $295 after rebates. Visit any G&B Energy location or gbenergy.com to learn more.
Men over 45, do you have a frequent, urgent need to urinate or a weak flow? Do you suffer from an enlarged prostate or BPH? Want to learn about alternatives to BPH medication and major surgery? How? Talk to a doctor about the UroLift system. The UroLift system is the #1 chosen minimally invasive BPH procedure in the U.S. It uses a proven approach to treating enlarged prostate symptoms that lifts and holds the enlarged prostate tissue out of the way, so it no longer blocks the urethra. No heating, cutting, removal, or destruction of prostate tissue is required. Find rapid symptom relief while preserving sexual function. Call 1-800-858-7070. 1-800-858-7070. That's 1-800-858-7070. Most common side effects are temporary and can include discomfort while urinating, urgency, inability to control the urge, pelvic pain, and some blood in the urine. Rare side effects, including bleeding and infection, may lead to a serious outcome and may require intervention.
Friendly reminder, don't break when you see the lake.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Investors today are trying to figure out if the glass is half full or half empty after that September jobs report showed stronger than expected job creation, but a higher than expected unemployment rate. Huge job cuts, meantime, announced at the nation's biggest wireless carrier, Verizon, cutting 13,000 jobs, most of them by the end of the year. On the earnings front, chipmaker NVIDIA reporting stronger than expected revenue forecast. Walmart posting an earnings beat for the last quarter. The chain does admit there's been some slight moderation, though, in spending from lower-income households. Another fire at Ford supplier Novelis, potentially hurting F-150 pickup production at a plant in Oswego, New York, that was supposed to come back online next month. Now the future is not clear. And a pickup in home sales. Sales of previously owned homes rising in October to the fastest pace in 8 months. That's as buyers took advantage of somewhat lower mortgage rates. And more homes were listed for sale. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Friendly reminder, don't break when you see the lake.
WSIC. Local starts here.
Brain Science Made Simple. Your Brain Matters. Hosted by Dr. Tim Royer. Continues on WSIC. Local starts here.
To Your Brain Matters.
Awesome.
All right, so Doc is going to make some sense about how the body and the brain are actually working together. And we live in a culture that is super behaviorally based.
Right.
And Doc was taught in school how to diagnose with all of these behaviors, lists and lists of behaviors. And so he was very much entrenched in that space. But as he was working in pediatrics with all of this training, he began to see how maybe this system was a little broken, because what he was finding is the same behavior can be driven by a different brain activity. So a kid can be fidgety, one, because maybe he's having difficulty paying attention, but he can be fidgety because, two, he might be anxious.
Right.
So as Doc was progressing in his practice, he became aware of the fact that we can measure this.
Mm.
And let me tell you that when he found out about that, it changed everything. So he was a division chief at a pediatric hospital and running a behavioral center it was in the state of Michigan. It was for the entire west side of the state. And it was booming and growing, and it was a great job. However, his excitement and his passion and his integrity actually told him he needs to go do something else, because the kids were being misdiagnosed and then therefore mistreated. And that wasn't because anybody wanted to do anything wrong. It was just the system is broken. So we're going to talk to Doc about something that he and I call upstream. And basically, the concept is we can't just look downstream and have a full understanding. We have to look upstream. So Doc, explain what I mean by that.
Yeah, I love that intro, because I think it really goes back to in the 90s when I'd been division chief at DeVos Children's Hospital for about 9 years. I was like, man, there's so many of these kids getting diagnosed with ADHD. And I started to want to unpack that and say, is that really what's going on? Because they were sending these very difficult cases to us at the Children's Hospital, like the worst of the worst. And we started to analyze these kids, and we found out, and these are kids that have been diagnosed for years, that a third of them didn't even have the disorder. Like out of 1,000 kids we looked at. I mean, it was like, what in the world?
Right.
And then a third had ADHD symptoms, but there was another primary diagnosis. And then a third did have it. So if I've got 4 kids, right? So I'm thinking, imagine if they, you got 3 that are misdiagnosed, 3 or 4, right? Or 3 out of the 4. So I started to say, we got to figure this out. This just can't be behavioral based. And so this is a paradigm shift for you, because this is not the world that you live in. You go into your doctor's office, they answer questions, and you get your sleep aid. But have they looked at your brain? You answer the questions, you get your Zoloft. I'm not opposed to any of these meds, but has anybody looked at your brain? Have they gone upstream to look at the brain, right?
Yeah, but I think, and this is going to be a big focus in Your Brain Matters, is I think often we don't even connect behavior to brain.
No.
So that's going to be like a big thing for you and I to really work hard to make that clear, is that you can't do that, because I think that people who made the list for the diagnoses were doing a good thing, but they were making a behavior objective, and a behavior isn't objective, it's subjective. It's
Right.
very slippery. It can look different on different days.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about is that we literally can make a measurement, and we literally have something objective.
We can look upstream at the electrical activity in the brain, and we can look at what the brain's doing. The advancements in every other system in the body, with the heart, with the gut, with everything, has changed over the years. The technology has changed, but we're still diagnosing attention disorders like they were diagnosed in 1904. Okay, that's not science, right? So we have to look straight in the face of this and say, wait a minute, the emperor isn't wearing any clothes here. Let's go look up at the brain. So in order to look at the brain, we first have to figure out, where does the brain get this energy? So the brain is constantly on.
Yeah.
It can't turn off.
Right.
And this brain, this 3.5-pound organ, I'm holding a model of the brain, it needs electricity 24/7. The electricity can't just disappear and turn off. It has to keep running all the time, right?
Right.
So the question is, I get it for my iPhone. I can plug it into the wall, right? Like I charge it and I sort of understand how a battery works. But I get that electricity from the wall, from some power plant, probably right here from the dam, and the power plant here in Lake Norman. But I sort of understand hydroelectricity. But my brain, I didn't plug into a wall, right?
Right. And some people, this is going to be a little difficult to jump, but we plug our iPhones in a lot at night. You and I do, for sure. And a lot of people think when we sleep, that's when we plug our brain in.
Oh,
and the big thing to understand about that, the big aha, is your brain is working harder when it's sleeping than it is in the day. So that is not recharging your brain. That is recharging your muscles, and balancing your electrolytes, and bodily functions do get rebalanced, but recharging and energy, no way is that happening when you're sleeping.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so the energy has to be something that we're consistently making somehow. So we are somehow an energy plant.
Yeah, we're like this power plant that is making energy 24/7.
Maybe a little bit like a Tesla.
I don't know how that. You plug that in, don't you?
You do, but there's something about when you're braking, like it
No, I don't understand that.
Well, anyway, we got to go
Let's get back to the brain. That's
Upstream.
easier. Understanding the brain is easier than the Tesla. So upstream. So we're going upstream. We're looking at where the energy is coming from. So the big question, the audience out there is, think for a second. How are you manufacturing energy? You're not a coal plant. You're not a hydroelectric, nuclear power. What is the resource you're using? So the first thing that a lot of people say when I'm at a lecture and I ask this question is they say, food. Food is important, okay? And it is important what we eat because it does affect some of the energy, but it's a very, very small percentage. Water, super important. Like when you were a little kid, you were told, don't step in the puddle when the wire's in it because it conducts electricity. That was the negative side. But as a human, I need water to conduct electrical current.
Yeah, like our brain is like 75% water.
Yeah, it's crazy how much water.
So if you're dehydrated, you're not going to do well on your energy.
Yeah. So, we need the food, we need the water. We do need sleep to some extent. 7 days without sleep, you will go psychotic. And by around day 14, you would die because you have to have that gearing down. So those three things, which are probably the biggest things, they only make up 15% of how you're making energy.
Right.
Right. Think how much time we spend on these things like nutrition and supplements and
time
hydration
and money that we are wanting to invest in that.
Yeah, just think of all that.
And you have the answer.
I got the
what's
answer.
the most important. And guys, it's free.
It's totally free.
Freaking free.
So 85% of the energy you need to function comes from oxygen.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Yeah.
It's oxygen. We're going to learn a lot about this. And it seems so basic, but it's so profound. I work with I've worked with and assessed 13 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. What's the first thing I do when I work with them? What did I do last Sunday when I'm working with two of the quarterbacks before the game? I work on their breathing. Breathing, not just calm app, but we have to get a belt on them. We have to measure what their diaphragm's doing, the actual volume of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So our science corner, remember, oxygen, number one thing, okay? You want to learn more about your brain? We want you to go to yourbrainmatters.today. Schedule an assessment.
Take a breath. Let your brain reset. We'll be right back with Dr. Tim Royer on Your Brain Matters. WSIC Local starts here.
Well, plenty of warmth around the Lake Norman area, but also plenty of clouds as they continue to roll in as we head through our Thursday. For our Friday, still plenty of warmth, high temperatures in the low to mid 70s, but the chance of a shower really at any point as we go through the day, and that chance will continue into Saturday. Don't expect much rain, just a brief isolated shower. Then more sun shines back, we're cooler in the upper 60s by Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Join the Hickory Christmas Show to kick off the holiday season in style. Start a new family tradition with a visit to the show on December 5th through the 7th at the Hickory Metro Convention Center. Visit hickorychristmasshow.com for more information. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway begins on Friday and runs through January 4th. The drive-through holiday light show features more than 5 million lights circling the iconic oval, pit road, and infield road course. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets and information on Speedway Christmas. The Fall Frenzy 5K is happening on Saturday at ESC Park in Troutman. This run and walk benefits the Iredell County Crosby Scholars to support college and career access for Iredell students. Runners, walkers, and well-behaved pets are invited. There will be a DJ, food trucks, face painting, games, post-race snacks, and awards. Visit crosbyscholars.org to register and for more information. Ray Everham's 13th annual Americana Live Car Show is Saturday. The show is open to all cars and held at Train Technologies in Davidson. 100% of the proceeds will be donated to the Ignite Community Center to benefit young adults with high-functioning autism or Asperger's syndrome. Visit AmericanaLive.com for more information.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 23rd. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 13th through 23rd at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Buy tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Craft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
We're back with more ways to understand the most powerful computer you'll ever own. Your brain. Your Brain Matters, hosted by Dr. Tim Royer, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Okay, welcome back to Your Brain Matters. And it really does, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to put some real human feeling to what we're talking about, because we love the science. It can get very objective, but we work with humans.
Right.
And it is the best part of what we do is our interaction with humans. We have had the privilege in the last 25 years to work with anybody from a 3-year-old with autism through 95-year-old. And it is amazing. It is a beautiful thing. It is a sacred responsibility that we feel. And so each of our clients that we work with is important to us. And we get to see, like what we often say is, every brain is like your fingerprint.
Yeah.
There's only one of you in the universe. And so what we're going to try to do each time we have Your Brain Matters show is we're going to highlight a client story. So, of course, it will be anonymous, but Doc's going to share one of our client stories, and he's got somebody on his mind today. So let's go with that.
Yeah. Can you explain? We're breaking through all these different paradigms that people have, with behaviors and medicine, those kind of things. When we talk about a client, I know what everybody's thinking. This person comes to the office, they come and see the therapist, sit on the couch, that kind of thing. Can you just kind of, for the listeners, explain, when we're talking about our clients, they're all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So originally we had offices and we worked in the town that we lived in. But I mean, that seems like 3 lifetimes ago because 1, COVID happened, 2, technology improved. And so now we're able to go everywhere, really. I mean, we have clients in other countries and we just Zoom. And so what we do is we send our equipment to people and then we get on with them and we explain how to use the equipment. I say that and I act like it's really easy, but actually Doc has developed all of the software slash hardware connections that we're talking about because I don't really know anybody else who's doing what we're
No,
doing.
not at this level.
There are ideas out there, but we've really, really gone nuts in making it accessible. And so the way that it looks is that you would be in your own home.
Right.
I mean, unless you're local and you come to the Birkdale office.
True. That's
But you'd
true.
be in your own home, and we would walk you through putting a headband on your head and turning on a device and clipping it on your ear and putting a lead on your head and putting a breathing belt on, finger sensor, things like that. All these cool devices that measure our biometrics. But rather than just collecting data, what we do is, what Doc does is analyze the data. And then our bread and butter is that we manage your data
Yes.
because we
Yes.
don't just like say, here is all your stuff, here's the load, see you later, bye. We say like, here's all your stuff. This is what it looks like when Dr. Royer analyzes it, but this is what training can do with that. And so one of our main things that like our legs of the stool that we live off of is that our body is constantly changing and our brain is always learning.
Right.
So we work off of the principle that we can teach our brain and it will change our body.
Yes.
So it's incredible. Being a human is absolutely amazing. What we're doing with human beings, just as practitioners, is just, it's mind-boggling many days, but it's the client that's doing the work.
Yes.
So we don't take credit at all for a client's success journey because everything about what we do is they did the work.
Right.
They
use the
applied
technology.
the science.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And so that's what's so amazing because honestly, many times people say, like, I need to talk to Dr. Royer about this. And our answer to much of that is first train. Take your minutes and train. It's better than, I hate to say it, but it's better than an hour of talking to Doc is an hour of training because the hour of training is going to move your system. The hour with Doc is going to help you understand what happened.
Right.
Right? But if we just talk, we're not getting the human being to change.
Right. And you're going to learn way more about the technology and how we can read your brain in real time and how we can use the brain's ability to learn to use that data as a speedometer to start to teach itself to actually change to the point that we can treat sleep problems, anxiety, depression, ADHD, autism, and work upstream at changing the brain. And so in our clinical corner right here that we're going to talk about today, I'm going to give you this case. We have a few minutes left here. So this is a very representative case. I've seen this a lot. 8-year-old presents with attention problems. Teacher identifies that. Mom hears about it. They have a case conference. They sit down and we think that, Johnny has a attention issue. And we see this all the time. I could probably go through our list right now, and there's 10 of these on our list, right? Where the behaviors, the downstream behaviors, I get that. They check the list, and it's very interesting. In the DSM, where you get all these different behaviors that you check, there's one that says, acts as if driven by a motor. Like,
I did that yesterday.
What in the heck are you talking about? Acts as if, how is that medical or measurable? Check my blood pressure. Does it act like it's driven by like a motor? I don't know. I want to know the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, the child hit all the questions on the checklist correct,
right?
Or got the diagnosis that way. And then we even, had some more testing done where we looked at continuous performance testing, which very few people even do, but that helps validate the diagnosis. And, he didn't do very well on that. And that looked like an attention issue. Okay, well, let's keep going upstream. Let's look at his intellectual functioning. Let's measure his IQ, make sure that we're not putting him under constraints that he can't manage, right? Comes in with a very good IQ, academically landing, doesn't have learning disabilities. Like, you know what? This almost looks, by level 4 here, we're working upstream. We're not just looking at behaviors. Like, man, this sure looks like ADHD.
Yeah.
Then we measure the brain, right? You guys are going to become experts at this by listening to this show. We measure the EEG, and what we see is that thetas, which allow the brain to recover, theta brainwaves, they cycle at 4 to 8 hertz in the brain. Those should be around 2.7. If they get above 3.5, they're an attention disorder. If they get below 2, it means the brain's not sleeping correctly. Very unusual for a child to have low thetas. They're normally too high, representative of ADHD, and that's why a stimulant helps. His thetas across his brain are 1.7. So these brain waves that need to be there to allow the brain to sleep, to rest, recover, these slow brain waves, he doesn't have enough of them. So what does that tell us, Abe?
Well, at that moment, you've got red flags all over the place.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's almost like a blood test where something is way out of the normal limits.
Yes.
So you would react to that as a practitioner. Your next question for them is, how is he sleeping?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And we can measure that.
Right. We
So
can
we're
use
not-
our sleep studies that we do. We can measure the hormones related to sleep. We can measure oxygen levels. We can do all of these things related to that,
Right.
which we did. And sure enough, even though Mom, and I get it, he seems like he's sleeping okay at night, but that's very subjective. How about if we measure every millisecond of his brain while he's sleeping and find out he isn't getting into REM sleep right? He's not getting into deep sleep. No wonder during the day he's having problems, right?
Right.
The last thing on the planet that you would want to do to this brain is put a amphetamine or a stimulant in this brain.
Right. Because you would induce a panic attack, actually.
Absolutely.
At that point. Or you can destroy the gut health, because the gut has to be in a resting state to digest. So you can get all kinds of digestive problems, nutrition, deficiencies, energy issues. Like, there's so much with a child that depends on a good night of sleep. And we, in our culture, we don't respect it as much.
We don't measure it. We don't look at it. Very few kids do they look at sleep.
Right.
And the thing about ADHD is there's about a third of kids with ADHD that actually have an underlying sleep problem
Yeah,
that
there's
nobody's
a study
paying
about
attention
that,
to.
right? That they've validated that.
Yeah. Well, ding, 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 ding. We got 2 minutes left.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a 2-minute drill.
2-minute drill. Here we are. I'm going to take you to the finish line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. So what we want to try to do for the 2-minute drill is we just want to encapsulate the spirit of what we've been doing for the past almost 1 hour. We value your time. We want it to be helpful for you. We don't just want to be talking to the air out here. So today I'm going to try to encapsulate the session that we've had by saying, let's take an action step and let's talk about each of us stopping what we're doing and thinking through what we've just heard. Okay? So hopefully you've heard something new. So something that you didn't know before. Go over those things that you heard. If there was anything that was kind of like an aha moment, write it down. And just mull over it. Give yourself some space to think through this. If you didn't think of anything to write down, then just write down on a piece of paper, my brain matters. And then if you want to, you can say why your brain matters. Like if it was me, I'm going to write down my brain matters, and I'm going to write for Amy, Tim, and then I'm going to list the other people I already told you about. But the goal is that you become of the opinion that your brain actually matters.
Amen. Let's go. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Great job, Aim.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290D.